He was a very tall, good-looking, handsome man, about 6'4".
He was always dressed beautifully and immaculately.
He commanded attention wherever he went.
When he stepped into a room, the room had to look at him.
His whole life was spent with one thing in mind, and his passion was the forest, and he put all his efforts into it.
He truly was a wonderful spokesperson and an ambassador for the profession.
He taught me about how to manage forests that work for many different things.
Not only the obvious wood commodities, but the clean air and the water and the fish and the wildlife. He embraced all of those.
I'm sure other people will have commented how he could remember everybody's name in a room from a conference that he went to years and years and years ago.
He didn't forget anything.
So that's more than an intellect. This incredible photographic memory really allowed him to move through the world of forestry and politics very easily. He was a writer, a very talented writer.
He wrote poetry, and he wrote for like 10 years for a monthly for a magazine.
He liked to write, loved to read. He always had a pencil handy, and he would edit the books as he read them.
He was the consummate storyteller. It's one story after another story after another story.
And they got a little more grandiose sometimes.
It was interesting how he argued.
He was loud.
Had a very deep, booming baritone voice.
He could be overbearing, to say the least.
He didn't shy away from expressing his point of view, forcefully yet respectfully.
He could go all the way from the bluster of, trying to blow you away to the intellectual approach of trying to present the facts in a way that would help to convince you that his perspective was the correct one.
And in 1941, 3 years after Bill had graduated from UW College of Forestry, he went to the SAF National Convention in Washington, D.C., and he got to meet and go to lunch with Gifford Pinchot at Pinchot's home. During that lunchtime, Bill argued for the private forestry perspective with Pinchot right there at the table as a young professional just 3 years out of school.
He could also be amazingly polite, kind, gentle.
I think he made me a kinder person.
He was very genuine, gentle person.
He has a richness about him because he came to the whole idea of forestry from being a kid in it as a firefighter. And I had a lot of respect for him and his journey.
He, at a young age, defined himself by going out on his own during the Depression and fighting wildfires, and then being a hobo. And he had a real independent streak, and when he got back, his mother took him by the ear and said, "You're going to college."
Bill was a 1938 graduate of the University of Washington College of Forestry.
Went to UW for his undergraduate and then went to Duke for his master's.
Bill had also been one of the very early SAF presidents. Bill was also a founding member of the World Forestry Center, and so this legacy that we're continuing now is a very fitting tribute to Bill's vision and his advocacy for the profession.
I think all of us need to have a respect and admiration for the people who laid the ground before we walked on it.
Someone that's young, follow his example.
Young foresters have an opportunity to change the way forestry is done.
We need, the next series of people to come through, the next generation to look after our forests.
I would imagine him to say, be part of those forests. Feel what's going on. See what's going on. Go out there. Go out there.